Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we're here to talk a little bit about human decency, kindness to other people. It is hard to achieve sometimes because anger is such an easy emotion to lapse into. And there are so many things to trigger that anger. But there are times we need to push back on that emotion because what we see now is pure and simply wrong. People suffering for anger produced from greed, anger produced from xenophobia. Uh, you know, there are so many people who are like, I don't care, I want more money. It's my right. Well, there are human rights, but possession of money is not one of them. Money, currency goes back a long ways, but guess what? It's not a necessity to run a society. It can be run without it. Often you think of the more crude forms of society, but there's other ideas. You know, communism. Actual Marxist communism is no, money doesn't, it isn't necessary for a world to run because the actual laborers maintain most of the fruits of their efforts instead of there being a boss man who takes it all and then gives you a little bit. Instead, the boss man only gets a small portion because all he did was coordination. So he'll get like a small piece of any labor you produce. Other than that, the labor is yours. You grow crops, those crops are yours to do with. You go logging, that wood is yours to do with. You go mining, those minerals are yours to do what you wish with. And there are a number of jobs where you just don't need a boss. If you go into uh, more along the arts line, where you produce a level of artistic expression or information, that is yours, that you have produced. And if someone wants access or to be able to use it, give them something in return. They must give you something in return. That, in essence, is a big part of the actual Marxist philosophy. But a lot of people want to confuse the idea of Stalinist communism, because that is what we know of. So you can't confuse the societal ideation of what communism is with any particular dictator, because that is different than the actual ideation. But my point is this, before I started talking about communism, the thing is, people often think, they don't deserve this, they don't deserve that. They're human. They deserve anything you deserve. If you think you deserve the right to some health care without being put into the poorhouse, then they do too. If you think you deserve at least some kind of shelter, they do too. At a base level, we need to remember that we're all human beings. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen for some reason. There's, an ideal of, oh, I'm special because, why? Because I'm me. That's why. They're not like me. I'm me, so I deserve. You're both human. Period. End of sentence. End of comparison. Now people may go, oh, but they've committed this great atrocity. Maybe. There's some great atrocities. If they are bad enough, they need a form of punishment. But as an individual, as a human being, anybody you compare yourself with is just as worthy as you are of certain rights. And that's why I'm having such a problem with this, because people come here looking for a better life. Often they're forced here through pure and utter greed. A lot of the time that is American caused. There was a capitalist who said, I could make some bucks off that. And then we end up in this situation. But they're just looking to escape, poverty, crime, whatever conditions have made them want to leave, to find something better, to risk the things they go through. Because think about it, they go through some dangerous territory sometimes. And there's often people who help them to these areas who are untrustworthy. But all some people want to do is, they bring crime. We've already got crime here. And this is a known fact that they bring and want to have less of a chance to perform crime than native-born Americans do, because they don't want to have to go back. Problems are there they're struggling with That's why they came here. Not to say there aren't some who do cause problems. That happens. But it's found out that there is a greater percentage of those who want to be lawful, and stay here than native born Americans. And I often choose immigrants because they're often the one accused of so much. But, healthcare shouldn't put people into a poorhouse. Shouldn't cause them to end up homeless. The homeless should not be homeless. They should have help. There should be outreach. Prisons are way too full to the point that we have private prisons. And there should be no such thing. Yet, our prison population, for what's supposed to be considered the greatest country in the world, is way up there. Because frankly, there's a lot of things that are often prosecuted that shouldn't even be considered crimes. But again, I'm of the belief that you should be able to do one as you wish, as long as it don't hurt another person. And actually, there should be funded programs to help those in need. I've stated this before. I think there should be open locations to where if you want to do drugs, you can do drugs, but they keep you there, make sure you become sober again, and make sure you don't hurt yourself, you don't hurt anybody else. It gives you time to enjoy the effect of the drug and offer the person who is taking those drugs the chance to go off the drugs. Some type of treatment to help them. A treatment that very well could work. Instead of just, let's pray the addiction away. That don't work. It would, because think of how many people are in prison for possession or use of drugs. Think of how much that would lower the prison population. There are things like this that can be done all the time. A number of police calls that have ended up in murder is when you have people who are suffering from mental ailments, mental illnesses, and they're just looking for help. All you would need is people who do work in the field, social workers, psychiatrists, to talk to them. Maybe have a police, but don't go up there with a damn gun drawn and be so willing to pull your damn gun out. But, or, have an unarmed guard would be better, so they don't have a damn gun. Maybe have a couple of unarmed guards. Stun guns on them. Because, honestly, a lot of these people, they aren't going to be armed they're just struggling, or it's not like they're going to be armed with guns. They're being a nuisance, but they're just needing help. We don't need police to be a end all be all for everything. That's just wrong. Treat other human beings like you would expect yourself to be treated. And be honest with yourself. Do I deserve this as a human being? And think, well, maybe these other people deserve this too. I'm calling on people to try to show a little understanding. God knows I could use it myself, because I am so quick to anger. And that's something I struggle with. Frustration over certain in the midst of certain things, yeah, it can cause me some strong anger. I'll start slinging around profanities and stuff, but you need to try to understand other people. There's even situations where they do or say things, and it's like, I get angry. But yeah. Anyway, this video has been long enough. I wanted to talk about that for a bit. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. See you in the... If someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I don't have any for this video, but since it was just kind of an off the cuff. But again, thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.